Sign up to the SBR Network and use your free daily bet points to earn real-world prizes. Click on the page and start winning now.
Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. The second round of the NBA playoffs set to kick off on Monday evening. However, Tuesday evening have a couple of good games as well, and the series prices for all of these series are out right now from BetOnline. And this particular one is the probably a very anticipated matchup in the Eastern Conference between the Brooklyn Nets and the Miami Heat here. However, even though the Brooklyn Nets played very well against the Heat during the regular season, very widely publicized, the Miami Heat come in as minus 375 favorites in this series from BetOnline, where the Nets come in just over 3-1 at plus 315. Now, of course, the big catalyst for that reason why the lines are probably the way they are starting out is because the Nets, of course, went to 7 games, while the Heat swept the Bobcats and have had the last week or so to rest. Now, series price line really reflects what we've seen throughout the playoffs, I think, from both teams. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are correctly priced and one team isn't over or undervalued. Of course, Brooklyn famously went 4-0 straight up and against the spread against the Miami Heat during the regular season. But as, of course, we always mention with the Miami Heat, it is the regular season, and again in the playoffs, they really play a completely different brand of basketball, a more aggressive style of basketball. And we've seen this before, I think, from the Miami Heat. And if you remember a couple years back, the Chicago Bulls got the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference, played very well against Miami during the regular season. I don't know if they lost against them in the regular season, I'd have to look back, but I think that they definitely had a winning record against Miami, both straight up and against the spread during the regular season. In the Eastern Conference Finals, Miami dominated them in 5 games. It was a completely different Miami team that came out. Now, that was before they won their first title, obviously, and now they're going for their 3rd in a row. But even though there's a difference there, I do think Miami is probably the better wager in this series if you're going to go with a large chalk like the Miami Heat. I like Brooklyn. I think we've seen it, like I said, we've seen this before though, and it really, with Brooklyn really expending a whole lot of energy in that 7-game series, I just don't think Brooklyn's going to have enough. With the loss of Brook Lopez, this team is completely different from what we thought they could be. When they thought, we all thought at the beginning of the year they had a chance to beat the Heat, but without Lopez in the middle, they completely lose their ace in the hole against the Miami Heat. And trying to play a small ball style of game with the older personnel that the Nets have, I just can't see it. So add Heat minus 375 at BetOnline to your NBA picks if you're into the chalk here. But make sure you check out also my other 3 NBA series price articles and videos for the second round of the playoffs. A couple of really good values, I think, in those odds. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of The Sharp Pick.